Are you interested in getting into bot trading? Try crowtrader.com right now and download version 1.2.1, now available for free. Download Windows, Mac, or Linux version and experiment on Coinbase Pro and Binance Legacy with new exchanges coming very soon. And learn how to use the bot before you've ever paid a dime. Download 1.2.1 now, free at crowtrader.com. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome. It is 2:47 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I think I've got a fun video. I do not have my lights kicking, so you're gonna see me kind of green. I didn't know how long the video might end up being, and I just don't want to be baking over here. Are we getting news today, or is Charles a massive troll? I don't think Charles is a troll at all. I think he's just having some fun. Didn't take you long. Yeah. It is crow o'clock. That's funny. That's cute. Thanks, Emily. Not first. Woohoo. Hey, Crow. What's up, Jay, bro? Don Green, Rich. You look clearer. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I generally have these two giant bright LED lights that just like cook me, and I just start sweating and I get uncomfortable, and it's typically when I cut the stream because I'm just too hot. And then I generally have one behind me. I don't know if that helps at all, but then I have a backlight that kind of lights. I have this whole thing, and it's pain in the butt sometimes. So I just didn't feel like getting up and turning everything on today. So anyway, I think I'm gonna tease you guys a little bit. So I talked to Emotional Trader. It's at Bird on the Money on Twitter, and he had sent me this big long string of a theory that he has, and I gotta say, it's pretty good. Great call on Born a Champion. Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed it. That has truly become one of my favorite movies. Born a Champion. If you have not seen it yet, you go run over to Amazon Prime and rent it. It's like a $4 rental, and it is the best movie I've seen in so long. And during a time where like it just seems like there's nothing but crap coming out. You'll like, because we started watching the movie. Well, I looked at the trailer. I got halfway through the trailer. I'm like, this looks so good, I don't even want to see anymore. And it's like, but I still had this whole like, all that's ever come out lately are just crap movies. I think that were just, I don't know if they were thrown together or like, I don't know what's happened, but this movie unbelievable. Born a Champion. Watch it. You'll love it. You don't need to be all about jiu-jitsu, MMA, or any of that to appreciate the movie. I promise you. My wife was in tears. I was too. So anyway, but I guess what should I jump to first? Should I get to this whole Cardano Twitter conspiracy speculative theory, or should I go over a couple articles first? Because I know the longer I'm on, the more people are going to hop into chat, and I'd like everybody to see it live. I'll go over one and see what happens. As Bitcoin soars towards $50,000, data reveals Tesla billionaire Elon Musk triggered a $1.2 billion price short squeeze. Something tells me that Elon Musk is into sadomasochism. I know that's not the right way to say it. I don't care for all of you sadists and masochists out there that like. Anyway, I just think Elon Musk, there's something about him. He's just a trip. I you know, if there's any one human being, I tell my wife all the time, Elon Musk to me is truly one of the most inspirational living legends of the day. Like, hands down. Elon Musk is the man I always wish I could have been. Now, I don't know much about his personal life, but in terms of accomplishment, development, building things, building his dreams into reality, I've just never seen anybody like him. And I'm absolutely, I'm in love with Elon Musk. Elon Musk, the billionaire chief executive of electric car maker Tesla, has single-handedly added thousands of dollars to the price of Bitcoin in recent weeks, with other groundbreaking developments sending it still higher. The Bitcoin price, which soared towards $50,000 per Bitcoin this week after Tesla made the shock announcement it had bought $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin, is up around 350% over the last 12 months. Now, data has revealed Musk, who has been warned by lawyers his Bitcoin boosting tweets could lead to questions from the U.S. Security and Exchange Commission, has triggered the liquidation of $1.2 billion worth of Bitcoin price shorts in recent weeks. I don't know. That could be stretching it. I mean, I don't know. Anything could be possible. I mean, when you're at that level, I mean, you know, what do they say? You can measure somebody's status by the power of his enemies or something like that. I don't know. But I don't think that he was doing anything nefarious at all. And I don't think he was doing... I mean, he could have bought some, held it for a while, and then tweeted it, knowing his tweets have power. I don't know, but is he still holding it? If he didn't sell at the peak of that pump, I mean, is there a problem? If he bought in to be a long-term investor because he believes overall in the fundamentals of Bitcoin, is there anything wrong with him telling the world? And at what point does having power or reach, you know, like, I don't know. I mean, you've got people on Fox Business and Bloomberg and everything else. I mean, they're investing in assets that they're then talking about en masse on national television. So I don't see how it could be much different than that, especially if he's not actively trading his tweets and pumps and things, which I've always kind of looked at as a no-no. So anyway, all right, well, we're up to 365. I think I'm going to wait a little bit longer. Elon is an actor employed by the CIA. Well, who isn't anymore, right? I mean, according to everybody. His Rogan podcast, it was great. It was great. I loved it. Talk about Charles and how he mentioned the dent it's going to make. Twitter is so yesterday. Use Gab. I don't even know anything about Gab. Maybe I'll look into that. I don't know. There's so many platforms. It's like I get so many, like... I only have like 16,500 people on Twitter. Like, and even people on Twitter don't really care that much about me, like in the grand scheme of things. I mean, I know a lot of you guys that are here right now probably follow me on Twitter and appreciate what I do there, but I don't really do that much. Nope. Clark Harris, I haven't gone into it yet. I'm waiting for the viewers, because I've been getting about, now granted I'm a little later today than I generally am, but I've had over 1,000 people live, and I kind of want to see if I get anywhere close to that before I start breaking up this theory. So you're still good. IOHK explains why Cardano's Project Catalyst is the world's largest DAO. I don't think anybody's really thought about this, but I thought it was worth mentioning, because I've looked into some of this stuff, and I'm like, yeah, this is pretty cool. Input Output IHK shared statistics on what has been achieved by Cardano's Project Catalyst in its 3 initial phases. How many Cardanians, I like that, Cardanians are contributing to the project's milestones. You know, I wonder when we're going to get something like, what is it, Sandbox? Like Sandbox, where you can buy land and build properties and things like that in virtual space, kind of like Second Life, but using like 8-bit type pixelated, yet I think also 3-dimensional assets and things. I really wanted to get involved at that, but they just didn't care enough about me. They're like, we don't really need you, dude. But I would get involved in something like that built on Cardano. Anything that I think is going to be like cool, if it's on Cardano, I'm going to be all about it, just to let you know. And if at some point in the future, my channel will likely become like a Cardano maximalist channel. It is what it is, yo. World's largest DAO with 7,000 supporters on board. Project Catalyst, a unique Cardano community-driven initiative focused on supporting early-stage products for its future dApps ecosystem, is approaching its 4th round, Fund 4. According to IOHK, the project managed to attract 1,800 active voters and 7,000 registered supporters. That said, according to its organizers, Project Catalyst has already become the largest decentralized autonomous organization in the world. It took 6 months only for Project Catalyst to accomplish such an impressive milestone. As covered by U.Today previously, Project Catalyst was launched without much fanfare in early Q3 of 2020. A total of $250,000 in ADA were distributed amongst the most valuable projects presented in its second stage. Cardano native assets go live and hardware wallets. That's a whole other thing, but it's a beautiful thing. Beautiful thing. All right. So I won't hold out any longer. I've got, well, yeah, maybe I will. Just one more article, and then we're going to get into this conspiracy theory. It's not even a conspiracy theory. It's just a theory in general. Cardano has over 100 commercial projects in the pipeline, says Hoskinson. And I know a lot of you guys out there, you know, oh, do you think VeChain is going to be taken down by the SEC? Let me put it to you this way. When it comes to the SEC, I've noticed that they like to try and go after things that are not decentralized. So the more decentralized a platform is and the more successful it is or has been on growing its decentralization, the less likelihood the SEC is going to come after them, provided they're not doing anything bad. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, you can never truly say what the SEC wants or what they're going to do or what they think this is or that is. You never really know for sure. Originally, I used to think like they're just trying to shut the industry down, but they've really seemed to calm down a lot. And I think that this whole thing with Ripple and XRP may very well become, like I said in previous videos, it may very well become kind of their way of learning and better understanding the nuances of these projects that they would or might go after. But I think that a part of me feels like they kind of, how do I say this? Like, instead of the SEC going after a bunch of like low-hanging fruit, you know what I mean? Which has been what the general thought has been about the, like, they go after people that can't defend themselves. They go after all these different people just to, like, you know, pull money from them and all these little conspiracies, these ideas and so forth. I think, honestly, I feel like if anybody has the means of defending themselves against the SEC's potential claims or whatever they're claiming, it would be Ripple, because they have a lot of former SEC higher ups apparently on their like legal team, their advisory board and so forth. And I almost feel like Ripple went after this fight knowing it was going to be a tough battle. Like it's going to be, it's going to challenge them while it's also challenging a lot of the things that we associate to cryptocurrency. And I think that they're going to use this case, I don't know if there's a trial, I don't know how that stuff works, but I believe that they're going to use this as kind of a, I don't want to say roadmap, but a way to better define their goals as a regulator moving forward with other projects. But XRP is not really decentralized, folks. So I think that's one of the big things that, and I got out, and I know I see it going up and pumping and all that. That's just pure speculation. I think that's a gamble at this point. But you know, to ask whether or not the SEC is going to go after every one of the 7,000 different cryptocurrencies on the market, no, they're not. But if projects are creating problems, or they are in any way perceived to be as like invasive or not concluding their goals, their milestones, or they think there was, you know, oh, well, we're going to launch this ICO, we're going to take all this money and we're going to throw it to the wind and buy yachts and God knows what and never work on the project. That those are the people that the SEC's going after. They're not, I don't think they're going after like honest people that are trying to make like honest work of the space. I don't think that's the case. I think I may have been wrong. But you know, we'll see. Like once this whole Ripple XRP thing is concluded, we'll just have to see what happens from then on. Can I swap XRP on your platform? No, it's only ERC20 tokens. So Cardano has over 100 commercial projects in the pipeline, says Charles. I have 100+ commercial projects in the pipeline that want to either migrate or build something on Cardano. A recent development on this front included SingularityNET announcing that it would create 1 billion new AGI tokens on the Cardano blockchain. According to IOHK, this will be the first major token release on the Cardano native assets platform and is the largest democratic exercise in the history of decentralized AI. Meaning, the AGI community voted on this move. Like it wasn't just something dictated by some CEO. It was actually voted with positive, like way in favor of moving to Cardano. So that's big stuff. There's so much happening. I'm telling you, man, there's so much happening with Cardano. And I know if you look at the price, you're seeing a little bit of a pullback against Ethereum, because Ethereum, this is ADA versus Ethereum, not ADA versus USD. And so when you're seeing a little bit of a pullback, but you're seeing what you're seeing more of is you're seeing ADA's price kind of going down just a tad, with Ethereum's price going up just a tad. So that separation creates these little white candles here. But after such an extraordinary pump of Cardano's price action in such a short period of time, when we look at the overall picture, I mean, listen, you're talking about a potential 300% increase over a period of 60 days. By the time this concludes, once ADA gets to $1 price point, breaks above that, and I just think that the growth ratio against Ethereum is going to significantly outweigh. I think it's just going to continue surprising everybody. So, and if this little theory has any real strength to it whatsoever, ADA's price could really go crazy. And you know, I feel like there's so many things brewing underneath the layers of Charles, IOHK, Cardano, so forth and so on. It's like crazy exciting, and it's fun to look at stuff like this. All right, so let's start off the theory of Cardano and Twitter. Okay, now keep in mind, again, this is for fun. There could be some truth to it. I don't know. I hope it is. I hope it all makes sense. So we're going to go over some things. Now, Emotional Trader, or Bird on the Money on Twitter, kind of an unknown. He's got 23 followers, but he's a Cardano fan. And apparently he's a fan of mine. Greatly appreciated. He sends me these tweets. Now, I don't generally, like, especially if people that I don't like follow or know anything about, I have so many messages from people that end up in like a special folder. I don't even see it unless I manually go into that folder and look. And every once in a while, I'll browse around and see what's going on in there. But I saw this. He goes, "Okay, man, I have something juicy for you. I hope you will appreciate my effort." Now, he did give me permission. He told me it's totally fine to show his account in these private messages, which are also in this message. So if I ever need to, I can show you. "Okay, man, I have something juicy for you. I hope you'll appreciate my effort. I did some digging with this whole Cardano gossip. Let me write everything down from the beginning so you can make sense of what I'm saying. It will be a little long, but man, mind blown. So 3 weeks ago, IOHK Charles posted this. A little bird landed on my shoulder and told me that February is going to be a really good month. Bird gossip is generally reliable. In advance, excuse my spelling. I'm not a native speaker. I'm from Poland. Does pretty daggone well, though, if you ask me. People started speculating about it, and the most common guess was the announcement about Africa Special. They talk about banking the unbanked there for years now. However, I think it was in December, Jack started this thread, Jack Dorsey, founder of Twitter. We are trying to do our part by funding an initiative around an open, decentralized standard for social media. Our goal is to be a client of that standard for the public conversation layer of the internet. We call it Blue Sky. Twitter is funding a small independent team of up to 5 open source architects, engineers, and designers to develop an open and decentralized standard for social media. The goal is for Twitter to ultimately be a client of this standard. Now, what it sounds is they're looking to create a decentralized layer that Twitter could potentially operate on top of. Okay, so not necessarily Twitter, like all of Twitter is decentralized, but it can operate it can operate the way it does, but have elements of it stored and distributed or whatever through blockchain technology. And I'm familiar with some of this just because of my relationship with social media. Like they can do that. They have some of it that's like some of it's not blockchain based, and then a lot of it is, and they can kind of change what is and isn't. So it sounds like this is they're wanting to create something that sounds like a layer. To which Charles later responded, "We are working on something, Jack. You shouldn't build this in-house. Make it an open source project and our entire industry can contribute." Smart. The project is called the Blue Sky. Remember that name. Few days ago, a guy called John O'Connor, who is a director of African operations for IOHK Cardano based in Ethiopia, was doing an interview about the deal they are signing with the government there. Everyone seems to think that the quote-unquote bird gossip is referring to the African deal. However, I just watched a podcast with Lex Fridman and Jack Dorsey. I guess we'll play this. This is just a 32-second clip.
I was meeting with an entrepreneur in Ethiopia, and payments is probably the #1 problem to solve across the continent, both in terms of moving money across borders between nations on the continent, or the amount of corruption within the current system. But the lack of easy ways to pay people makes starting anything really difficult. I met an entrepreneur who
So I know the audio is really low. There's nothing I can do about it. I've tried. It almost sounds like it was just recorded with somebody's phone in the room or something. So audio is not that great. But at the very beginning, he basically says,
I was meeting with an entrepreneur in Ethiopia.
I was in a meeting with an entrepreneur in Ethiopia. I'm sure that Jack and John had met there in Ethiopia. Jack is following John on Twitter. John O'Connor, Director of African Operations, IOHK. Isn't this good, fun stuff? I mean, come on, let's be real. Doesn't even matter if none of this is actually real. It's exciting. It's exciting to think about. And who knows? I mean, there's definitely stuff. There's something going on. At the very least, there are talks, I would assume. There's Aya the King, who's a bit. I mean, a lot of going further. 3 weeks ago, Charles made a short video about decentralized social media. Look at the title of that video: Blue Skies and Social Media. Blue Sky, the name of the project that Jack Dorsey started. However, Charles is not talking about it. It just says Blue Skies as a hint in a title. Let's take a look at Blue Sky's Twitter profile. It's a blue sky with a little bird. Looks like a crow to me, but whatever. Look closer at the avatar, and there's a big blow up of it. Looks like a crow to me. Little bird on a blue sky. Man, I think what they are going to announce is not Grayscale or Coinbase or even the African deal, which is widely known already. I think Blue Sky is going to create a new decentralized version of Twitter on Cardano's blockchain as a dApp. Is your mind blown? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below, because listen, that's crazy. It's crazy, and it could very well be true, but who knows? I do not know. I really wish I did. But I mean, listen, it's Friday. Let's have some fun this weekend. You know, let's just take a break from all of the politics, the craziness, the right versus left battles all over Facebook and Twitter and more. It really wears me down. I can't help but to read it. I read so much stuff and my mind is blown by just so many people who, I don't know if they've been trained to turn off their brain power or what, but you know, this is something that should hopefully get your mind thinking and thinking about something more positive, more universally fruitful for all. I would love to see this being the case, but I don't know. And I know that if I even try to ask Charles anything about it, he'll just like send me some stupid, like, coded cryptic freaking something that doesn't mean anything to anybody but him, because it's just kind of what he does. And so you know, I don't know, what do you guys think? I love the idea of it, and you know, I don't know, I just don't know. I will say that Dot was doing pretty well for a minute, getting a pretty nice pump, but now it looks like it's getting a pullback. And where is my, yeah, there's my trade the chain. If I noticed a couple of you guys have been joining using my referral link below to join trade the chain. I think if you really understand what some of these little signals are and how they're pulling this data, you'll really dig trade the chain. Like, it is a lot of fun. And I'm actually in their Slack community. I've never really used Slack before, but I'm in there. I don't really say much. I observe. A lot of smart people in there, and there's even somebody in there that thinks he's a bigger Cardano bull than I am, but I just keep my mouth shut and I just watch and listen. And they, a couple of the guys, including one of the founders of Trade the Chain, who's a big, I guess a big investor fund manager guy, like traditional market manager, I think. I'm not 100% on that, but they did a live stream and I was in on that. I sat in on it and I was watching, and I'm like, yeah, I'm just here to correct you guys if you make any big, bold, bad mistakes. I was just all tongue in cheek. But anyway, Cardano's currently sitting at 90, almost 92 cents. Very bullish long term. Right now it's neutral because we're seeing a little bit of just some hesitant action, indecision period. I'm really liking calling this an indecision. And here's another tip for a lot of you guys. When you guys watch a lot of technical chart analysts, and they say, we have resistance here, resistance here, resistance here. That sounds like a negative term. It sounds like a negative connotation. It's really not negative. To have resistance at a certain price point, all that means is there are big buy walls at a certain price level, and that there has to be enough people. Well, let's put it this way. If Cardano's price is 91 cents, in order for the price to go up further, you have the buyers, there have to be enough buyers, or actually sellers rather, people willing to sell it, to let the price go up, because that means that there's a big wall. Like at 91 cents, I might put a big buy wall in at 91.5 cents or something, right? And if there's like $20 million that's on the line right there trying to buy up Cardano at 91 cents, well, there has to be people willing to pay more, and so forth and so on. So that resistance is really just somebody saying, hey, I want to buy and accumulate this, and I've got a bunch of limit orders set. So in order for us to break higher, you have to basically buy through my wall. So that's kind of like where the resistance comes from. And then support is the same way. So it's like to put the price down, or I might even have this backwards because I'm speaking, I'm live, and it's whatever, but you get the idea. You know what I mean? Like if there is if there's $20 million worth of people that have a limit order or a sell order at 90 cents or 91 cents, well, that establishes support. And the more support you have there, the harder it is to push down past that into the lower price points, right? So that's the kind of the support and resistance. Polkadot's currently sitting at basically $29, up 16, almost 17%. On the daily, but has a bearish short term, which we can see because if we look at it just against Ethereum, you can see we wicked up pretty well, but that's been cut in half by like 50% on a candle. So, and this is a daily candle. If we look at it on a 4-hour chart, you can see it's been going up, started to pull back, and now we're starting to reverse. So you can see the trade the chain is basically saying that, yeah, it's a little bearish right now, but the majority of the top 25 are either bullish or neutral. So it's an interesting thing to see. Seeing Tron at 5 cents is a pretty big deal, considering it's been sitting at like 2 cents for eons. And I know that there's some stuff going on with Tron and they're starting the pump machine, but I'm just not playing into it anymore. I'm over Tron. You know, I know that a lot of people like to have fun with it, but I'm just not feeling it anymore. VeChain's currently sitting at 5 cents and very bullish on the short term, up 35% on the 24-hour. So good for VeChain. And I will say Celsius Network, where's Celsius? I think it dipped another little tad today, but I finally saw with my own eyes the desktop platform. So I will say this. Yeah, it's at 564. Neutral and then bearish long-term sentiment, which I just don't see how that's possible. The thing of it is when you're talking about long-term sentiment, a lot of this is pulled in from like Twitter data. So if a project is being talked about a lot and there's a growing buzz on Twitter, that all gets compiled into a signal for bullish, bearish, long-term, short-term, so forth and so on. Currently, Twitter's sitting at a long-term bearish, but I don't really think that's going to be the case, because this desktop platform that I have now seen and played with my own hands, seen with my own eyes, I think when that thing launches, so many more people are going to be entering the Celsius Network community because they don't want to do things on their cell phone, and this is going to empower them to start earning a lot of interest, make loans, do the things that they want to do with their crypto holdings, and make some more money, even if they're not proof of stake tokens. So I'm excited about it. I'm excited for this year. I'm excited for everything that's going to be coming down. I'm excited for Cardano, and you know, it's Friday and I want everybody to enjoy their weekend. I'm going to try and have as stress-free a weekend as I possibly can this week, because damn it, I fucking deserve it. And I'm sure you guys do too. So let's just cancel out all the noise. Enjoy Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday. Sunday night, I'll probably be back to work because I always have to prepare for Monday and the week to come. But until then, crow your coins. Thank you so much for joining me. Make sure you leave a ton of likes. I'm less than 1,000 people away from 100,000 subscribers, folks. And I did it without a ton of daily clickbait crap video content. I feel we've built this channel together and as unique and real and straight up as we possibly could. And now I don't have 200, 500,000 subscribers, but I know that each and every one of you guys that do subscribe to this channel are real. And I know that you subscribe to this channel because you're in the space for the right reasons. The majority of you are, and I can see it. I can generally tell by the comments. I can tell by the chat. I can tell by just who you guys are. If you look at the comments in the majority of my videos and you see the mentality of the people, those of you guys out who are watching live right now, and compare that to some of these channels with hundreds of thousands of views and subscribers, there's a big difference between you guys and a lot of the others. We're not ignorant moon boys just here to try and pump the latest crap token from 0.06 cents to $10 overnight so we could take cash. And we're you know, getting slammed left and right with this, that, and another thing, and we're buying into every FOMO cycle there is and getting wrecked all day and all. Like, we're not doing that. We're about the fundamentals. We're about the real cause, the real problems that these projects solved, and we're here long term. We're not just here for the quick buck to buy a new pair of sneaks. We're here to take care of our families, and we're here to make our lives better. I think this is our year. Have a great weekend. I'll see you soon.